Hello, hello. Happy Thursday. So, this is boring, but you'll hit 20K fast. So, you've been grinding for what feels like forever, maybe long days, long nights. And at the end of the week, you still can't figure out why your bank account doesn't reflect the hard work that you've been putting in. What if I told you that the secret to hitting 20K fast is hidden in the most boring, overlooked part of your business? So stick with me for the next few minutes, and I'm going to show you how focusing on one boring thing could change everything for you and unlock massive growth in no time. So, hey guys, I'm Heather Blaze, and I've helped countless entrepreneurs, coaches, consultants, and experts just like you, whether they're just starting out, whether they're already have been in business for years, hit six figures or more by mastering systems, strategies, and automation. And the secret to success isn't glamorous. It's about building a solid foundation, the kind most people ignore. Or maybe they don't ignore it, they're just not really sure how to do that, how to build it. I've seen clients go from struggling to making 20K, 50K, 100K months. And today I'll show you exactly how you can do it too. So today we're going to cover 3 game-changing steps. First, we're going to talk about how to optimize your time so that you can stop working harder and start working smarter. I posted that in the group the other day, and true or false, is it, better to work harder or smarter? And everyone's like smarter, smarter, smarter. Duh, right? But it's true. It's true. Second, I'll introduce you to automation tools that will make your business run on autopilot. And finally, I'll show you how to create an irresistible premium offer that will turn your prospects into paying clients fast. So stay with me until the end. These 3 steps are all you need to hit 20K. And I've also got a bonus tip that could double that number. So let's go into optimizing your time first. Okay. Most entrepreneurs fall into this trap of doing everything themselves, thinking that working longer hours will yield better results. But here's the truth: more hours doesn't equal more income. We all have the same hours in the day. We all have 24/7. Every single person on the planet, we have 24/7. This is what our planet runs on, right? So why is it that some people achieve more faster than others? In fact, it's the opposite. Okay. The more you spread yourself thin across low impact tasks, the less time you have for activities that actually grow your business. So let's talk about wasted effort. Many entrepreneurs spend time on tasks that don't drive revenue. Things like posting on social media with no clear strategy. That's the key there, no clear strategy, or handling all the admin work. And then let's talk about burnout and efficiency. So, not setting up the right systems, delegating or outsourcing leads to overwhelmed as a result of that. And they miss opportunities for business growth. And a lot of people think, you know, I don't even understand the right strategy, which is understandable, especially if you've never had a business before. They think that posting more of what's not working will somehow start working. And just because they're doing it more often, and I'll go deeper on that in a minute. But what are some systems that we can set up to avoid burnout and efficiency? So I want to introduce the power of performing a time audit. So a time audit is when you track exactly how you spend your time for 1 week. Do it for the whole week. Okay. Wake up, start tracking your time. Okay. I know it sounds kind of tedious and whatever, but a lot of times we're just going through the motion. We don't even know what we're doing. We look back and we're like, what do we even do? Right. So you'll be shocked at how much of your day is eaten up by tasks that could be delegated or even completely eliminated. Once you're once you know where your time is going, you can make smarter decisions. And another thing is batching tasks. I don't know if you've ever heard of this before, but batching tasks. It's so important to batch similar tasks together to maximize productivity. So instead of hopping from one task to the next task, which drains mental energy, You want to block off time in your calendar to focus on one type of work. Okay. So instead of reading texts as they come in or reading and responding to emails as they come in, dedicate 20 to 30-minute sessions for doing this. Okay. And make them around the same time each day too. So it's like clockwork, right? Or for texts, wait until you completely finish a task and then you could go and check and respond to text before moving on to the next. So dedicate a few hours a week to content creation as well. Again, on the same time, same days if you can. And client calls between certain hours. And I prioritize those actually. Those are like the most priority thing, right? If I'm not on a call, I'm working on activities to get calls booked because if there's no calls, there's no sales, right? If there's no sales, there's no business. So I have this automated for me now. Um, that means that I'm either checking on ads to ensure that they're working or creating new ones to test or following up on the team that is running the ads for me to ensure, that they're working and they're doing what they should be doing. So I'm always following up with them, not every day, but often. Or I'm ensuring that my valuable free offer is good. I talk about VFO. If you don't know what I'm talking about, valuable free offer, then you go watch it in another video. This is really important to have. Make sure that that's working, that the landing pages are working and converting at the right percentages, or where I need to tweak those by looking at the data. If you don't know what data to look for, first of all, if you don't know what I'm talking about, then we need to book a call. But you need, these systems in place. You need to know what data to look for to make sure that things are working. And then I also make sure that my calendar is working properly, or that if I have an appointment setter, that they're communicating effectively to make sure that those calls are getting booked. So those are like top priority, right? I don't work on other things until I know that those things are dialed in. Once those are dialed in or I've checked on them and they're good, then I'll go and work on other activities. Okay. But before I had all that automation, because I know I've been there, you probably are like, I don't have any of that, which is fine. Or maybe you have pieces of it. But before I had all the automation, though, I was doing it manually. So I know exactly where you are and what you're going through and what you're feeling like. But the main focus was still the same. Okay. I see a lot of people kind of getting stuck in trying to perfect what their offer is, what their delivering of their offer is, or working on tasks that just aren't going to get those calls booked. So if you have an offer that gets results, or maybe you're not even sure if it gets results yet because you're just starting out, um, you know, checking in with yourself. Okay. Just check in with yourself. If you've got something, you should be out promoting it. If you don't have anything, of course, you're not going to promote it. What do you have to promote? How are you going to communicate the value effectively if you don't have something to offer? But once you have something to offer, and you know how to communicate it effectively, now it's time to start booking calls, right? You can always tweak it and make it better later, as you have people going through it, but you need money, you need sales. So you can always, and it always can get better and better and better. Anyway, check in with yourself, make sure that you're not stuck in working on that stuff if you already have something and you're not focused on getting those calls. Like work on getting those calls booked, getting good at sales as well. If you are getting calls booked but you notice that the people coming in aren't buying, then that could be a sales issue. It's either a sales issue or a quality issue based on your messaging. And then once you've got people in your program, you can always tweak things. Like I said, make it better and better for them as you go. And, just make sure you're getting the results and do what it takes to get the results. That's the main thing, because that's what you're selling mainly is the results, right? So by using batching tasks, we've gotten kind of off topic a little bit by batching by what am I saying? By batching your tasks, you'll get more done in less time is my point. Okay. So the other thing, let's move on. The other thing is delegation and outsourcing. Okay. So highlighting the importance of building a small support team or leveraging virtual assistants, VAs, for low value tasks. So just imagine this, right? While you're on your strategy call with a potential 10K client. Okay. Your VA is writing and posting your emails into the automated workflow, and they're handling text messages that are coming in to help lead people to booking calls, and even managing your social media posts by implementing the weekly schedule, editing videos, maybe repurposing your lives. If you're doing lives like this, they can repurpose those into long form videos or podcasts, cutting them up into reels, things like that, right? So you're free when they're focused on all that, you're free to focus on the high end level tasks that actually move the needle in your business. But I just want to make a little side note here too. I see a lot of people not getting results through their marketing, of doing all these things, their social media marketing, and go and hire somebody to do it for them. But the key is you need to understand how to get the results yourself first, so that you can train that person to get the same results for you. Okay. So, I mean, maybe it can work, but most of the time, 99% of the time that I see people go and delegate this task out, to hope that they know what they're doing, they don't, right? So if you don't know how to get the results yourself, make sure that you figure that out first. You get the training, you get the understanding, you get the wherewithal, you get people booking calls yourself. Then you can go and delegate those tasks by training people to alleviate it from your schedule. Does that make sense? Tell me in the comments if that makes sense, and or if you've thought about doing that or not. Sometimes we're like, when is it the good time to hire a VA or hire somebody to do my marketing for me, my social media marketing for you? It's a good time when you, like I said, when you know how to get the results for yourself, when you understand how to do it properly, effectively yourself, then it's time to go and delegate that task out. So, I mean, just calculate how much your time is worth, and then delegate tasks that cost less than what your time is worth. So if you think that your time is worth $100 an hour, then delegate anything that costs less than that, to hire someone else to do it for you, right? So, it's 50 bucks. You're paying somebody 50 bucks an hour, but you're worth 100 bucks an hour, right? You're saving 50 bucks an hour. It's like little mind shift. Anyway, after implementing these strategies, you can expect more focus and better results and less overwhelm, right? Better results in less time because you have all this time. You'll be able to spend more time on high value, high revenue activities, like nurturing leads and closing deals, or improving your training. Like, let's say you've got all that dialed in, improving your training to get better results for your clients, and automating more things to save even more time, and instead of getting bogged down by all the daily grind, or creating, higher, even higher ticket programs, like where you're going in deeper so that you can lead your existing clients into the next thing, right? So it creates more revenue. I remember, actually, now that I'm talking about all this, years and years and years ago, gosh, when was it? Early 2000s, I think. I had a neighbor who was a graphic artist, and forever, he's complaining, I don't have any money. I don't have any money. I need more clients. I need more clients. And are like, go get an assistant. If you get an assistant, you got all the time to go get the clients. Get an assistant to free up your time to do all this stuff. But it's like, it's kind of backwards thinking. Like, we're not really taught this in our lives, right? We're taught to be employees, work, 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 do everything ourselves. So I often talk about employee to empire shift, right? That's a little small part of it, is doing that, right? It's like you got to think opposite of what everybody else does. Anyway, here's where things get even better. Okay. I touched on automation, but let's go deeper on this. Okay. You need to automate to elevate. So whether maybe it's not hiring somebody else, maybe it's putting these systems in place, because once you've streamlined your time, the next step is to automate repetitive tasks so that your business works for you, even when you're not working. Right? I don't know if you've ever heard of those 4 quadrants, but there's the 4 quadrants is the E, S, B, and I, right? Employee, actually, I think it's good. Yeah. Employee, self-employed, business owner, investor. And it gets freer, your time gets freer as you go. Right. So if you're not making money, if you have to show up to make the money, you're self-employed. You don't have a business. Okay. Having streamlining your time and automating repetitive tasks where you're making money whether you show up or not, that's a true business. So many entrepreneurs fail to consistently follow up with leads because they don't have an efficient process in place, leading to missed opportunities and inconsistent income, things like that, right? So automate your lead generation and follow-ups with tools like CRMs. Okay. A CRM is a customer relationship manager. And back in the day, I used to think, I don't need that. I'm too small. I'm a one woman show. That's for the big guys. But no, it's so important to set it up right away as soon as possible because again, it alleviates your time so then you can focus on what's important. And you can nurture leads without you needing to really be involved at every step. You can set up like automated email sequences that go out to your prospects at perfect times without lifting a finger. And, whether it's a welcome sequence, an educational content, or a sales push, automation just really ensures that every potential client feels like they're getting that personal attention. And then also streamline your scheduling. Like imagine if your clients could just book meetings with you without the back and forth emails or texts. If it's not included in the CRM, like the one that I use, uh, tools like Calendly or Schedule Once allow clients to just see your availability. It automatically blocks off time. You got it on your phone. It's just, and then just book themselves into your schedule. And this simple automation, it just really frees up your inbox. It gives your clients that flexibility to schedule meetings when it's really convenient for them. So it's win-win. And if you want to take it a step further, attaching an application, right, to really screen, who you would ideally want to take a call with and kind of weed out those who wouldn't maybe be a good fit as well. So that's another little bonus tip there. So if you can't hire someone to create and post for you, automate your social media. Okay, posting with platforms like Buffer. I don't know if you've ever heard of Buffer or Hootsuite. Or if you're only posting to one platform like Facebook or Instagram, one or the other, or they're both kind of tied together, you could schedule it out directly on there instead of worrying about, what to post each day. You just take a few hours at the start of the week to schedule all your posts. And then your audience stays engaged and you stay focused on those revenue generating activities like we talked about before. But the key is really to be consistent and quality over quantity. Okay. Strategic marketing schedule. It should really only take you about 2 hours a week to implement, including all the posts. And there should be a mix. Okay. So anywhere from 5 minutes to 20 minutes a day or 2 hours for the whole week. It shouldn't take you that long. And there should be a mix of engagement posts, mission posts, indirect two-step posts, direct two-step posts, maybe even an entertainment post here and there, like that's entertaining. I see a lot of people making that like the only thing. Let's entertain, and teach. No, those aren't really effective, but you could throw one in here and there. And then direct offer posts, making sure you mix all those up and have those every week. And I would also recommend doing a live, like this, either YouTube live, Facebook live. I don't know if they do Instagram live, maybe probably once a week or at least every other week, like I'm doing here. Okay. I do one every week, but if you don't have that much time, then every other week at least, but just have that consistent time that you do it. And then you can repurpose that as a podcast. You can break it up into shorter clips that are really full of value and position you as the go-to for your ready to go clients, ready to buy clients, leading them straight to you. And if you aren't sure how to create a strategy around what you do, around what you offer to get the right people that are ready to buy reaching out to you, comment strategy in the comments here. Okay. Whether you're watching this live or you're watching, you're watching it later, go ahead and comment strategy in the comments and either myself or one of my team will reach out to you and get you, we'll help you with that. Because there's a lot that goes into it. But it's really important. Like if you post stuff all the time and it's just crickets, nobody's reaching out to you, nobody's commenting, nobody's booking calls, then comment strategy here in the comments. Okay. Anyway, entrepreneurs who embrace automation will be able to step away from their businesses without losing momentum. So their leads will still be nurtured, their clients will still be taken care of, and their businesses will continue to grow even when they're off the clock. How cool is that? So this leads to higher efficiency, increased client satisfaction, and more time to focus on self-care so you can be your best self to serve others and scale your business, right? Because if you're all burnt out, it's like it doesn't feel good to you. You don't want to do it, blah, right? I get a lot of calls from people who are like, I hate social media marketing. I'm like, that's because you don't know how to do it. I don't flat out say that. I ask more questions, but I know it's because you don't know how and nobody's answering. So what's the point, right? If that's happening to you, again, what was the word? Strategy. Anyway, once your time is optimized and your business is running like a well-oiled machine, it's time to tackle the most crucial part of your business, your offer. Okay. So we talked about the first two. Now we're into the offer. This is where most people get stuck. Okay. Creating an offer that people can't resist, an irresistible offer, right? There's one thing to say, hey, I'm a life coach. Hey, I'm a business coach. Hey, I'm a whatever, marriage coach or whatever. I'm a divorce coach. Uh, there's so many out there. There's so much noise out there. Nobody cares. Why you, right? So it's got to be this irresistible offer. Too many coaches and consultants, entrepreneurs, they undervalue their services, thinking that they need to offer more just to justify their price. And it's not about that. Okay. This leads to burnout. It leads to resentment and not enough revenue to sustain their business. It's not about offering more. People don't pay for more. Okay. They pay for perceived value. And I say it every time, results, right? Results. So often entrepreneurs talk about their process, how they do things, instead of focusing on the results that they deliver and why it matters to the client. And this makes their offer sound like a commodity rather than a must have surface. Okay. I'm just going to let that sink in for a minute. Just think about if that's something you're doing. Um, so you want to sell the transformation, not the process. Focus on the result that the clients will achieve. Your client doesn't care about how many modules your course has or how many calls they'll get. They just don't. They really don't care about that. They care about the outcome, whether that's increasing their income, reducing their workload, or living a more balanced life. So when you focus on the transformation, your offer becomes irresistible. So it's not about more, it's not about time. I often give this example of the dentist, right? This person comes in with crazy toothache. They've been suffering from it for years and they've been to a few other dentists, hasn't fixed it. And then they come across this dentist and he knows exactly what to say that just resonates deeply with this person. He asks a bunch of questions. The person says, the dentist says, is this happening? The person says, yes. Is this happening? And when you do this, is this happening? Yes, yes, yes. He's like, okay, cool. I can fix it so I charge $5,000, and the person says, what? $5,000? Oh my gosh, I don't have $5,000. And the dentist says, yeah, I can fix it in 10 minutes for $5,000. 10 minutes for $5,000. Oh my God. He's like, okay. If you want me to take longer, I can prolong it. We could take a few weeks, but I really can fix it in 10 minutes. Like, do you want to suffer with that toothache for another 2 weeks, or do you want it done in 10 minutes, right? Then you want the result. You're gladly pay for $5,000 if this can fix, right? If this can get fixed. And the dentist would be like, I guarantee I can fix it for you in 10 minutes, but I charge $5,000. Like, that person's going to go find the money if they don't have it, because they have been suffering with this pain forever. They can't eat, they can't sleep. It's like affecting their lives, right? They don't show up to work because they haven't slept and they feel terrible, right? I mean, there's so many things that it's costing them. And if they don't show up to work, they don't get paid. And You know what I mean? Then $5,000 seems like a bargain. But anyway, I'm going off track again. Let's do that. Let's keep moving on. Create the high ticket offer. Okay. I guess it kind of goes in. So create a high ticket offer. Position yourself as a premium provider. Okay. Here's the thing. People don't always want the cheapest. They don't always want the cheapest option. They want the best. When you create a high ticket offer, you're not just selling your time, you're selling your expertise, your insights, and your ability to get them life-changing results. Okay. High ticket clients don't want to nickel and dime you. They want a premium experience with premium results. Even let's just think about Louis Vuitton purse versus Target purse, right? People have the perceived value. They want that Louis Vuitton. They want that quality. They want that premium quality. They don't want cheap, right? If they can. So another thing is offer a clear path to the results. So your potential clients are already frustrated, overwhelmed, or confused. Okay. They're sick and tired of dealing with whatever they're dealing with. They need someone to take them by the hand and show them that clear path to success. So when your offer is positioned as the bridge, okay, between where they want, like where they currently are and where they want to be, it becomes a no-brainer for them to say yes, right? So by creating a clear results driven offer and charging what you're worth, you're going to attract high quality clients who are eager to pay for your expertise. And this, guess what? This helps you hit your revenue goals faster. It eliminates low paying, high demand clients and positions yourself as a leader in your niche. Okay. Does that make sense? Instead of charging $100 an hour or 275 or 795 or whatever, all these people have those things, 3,000, 5,000, 10,000, right? If you have one client at 5,000, let's say your goal is 20,000 a month, you've got 4 clients at 5,000, you hit your 20K a month. If you're charging $100 an hour, you need so many people to get to that level, right? And it's the same pathway that you have to bring them down, whether you're selling a $20 thing or a $5,000 thing. It's all, well, it's not just all mindset, but a lot of it is mindset. Anyway, I promised you a bonus tip, and here it is. You've probably heard of lead magnets or free offers before. But here's the catch. Most people create lead magnets that are really weak or too generic. But what if you could create a valuable free offer that positions you as the absolute go-to expert in your niche? Like just cancels out the competition and makes you the go-to. I had a client who struggled with this. She had a lead magnet that no one really cared about. We tweaked it and created a powerful offer that spoke directly to her audience's needs using specific words that resonated deeply with her ready to buy clients. And guess what happened? She went from getting 2 leads a month to 40 to 50 high quality leads in just 8 weeks. And this not only boosted her authority, but also allowed her to raise her prices. So a well-crafted free offer that is automated is the secret to charging more and working less. It's not about adding value. They're not just about adding value, I should say. It's about positioning yourself as a must-have, okay, against everybody else, okay? So if you're serious about hitting 20K fast and building your business of your dreams, then subscribe to this channel right now if you are on YouTube. And don't miss out on my free masterclass where I dive even deeper into these strategies. Trust me, the step-by-step system that I share in the masterclass has transformed businesses from struggling to 6 figures and beyond. And it can do the same for you. But it's for coaches, it's for consultants, it's for experts, or it's for professionals that want to be that. They want to leave their 9 to 5, but they're just not sure, how can I create an offer? How can I position myself? I want to be on my own. I was there. I was in corporate for a long time and I was just like, I want to have my own business. I want to be my own boss. I just didn't have the tools because I'd always worked for somebody else. So I hired many mentors to show me. So anyway, to show me fast so we could get it set up fast. But anyway, act fast, spots are limited. But let's recap what we've covered today. First, we talked about optimizing your time, focusing on high value activities that will actually grow your business. Then we explored automation tools to elevate your business and free up your time. We discussed crafting irresistible premium offers that will have your prospects lining up to work with you. And finally, having a valuable free offer that positions you as the go to and what you have to offer as a must have to get the right people finding you, calling you, and paying you on autopilot. Um, those are the 4 steps. Those are the 4 steps that are boring. I know, on the surface, but I guarantee you they are the fastest way to hit 20K per month and beyond. So remember, the key to success is taking action. Without action, you stay stuck where you are, watching others succeed. But if you're committed to these steps and you can dominate your market, grow your income, and live your dream life. And don't forget to tune into my next video. And if I'm on YouTube, I don't know where it is, over here. But we are going to be posting that next to here. And I'll be sharing how to overcome any problem in your business like a pro. So that is all for today. Thank you for joining me, and I will see you next time. Take care.